Today's guest is president of Wildcat Management, Tanya Ragan. Tanya is an entrepreneur, activist, and leader of the movement to redevelop downtown Dallas, Texas. In addition to commercial real estate, Tanya has a wide-ranging and highly successful background in the energy industry as well as venture capital. She has played an integral role in developing large real estate projects and properties all across the U.S. And as a resident of Dallas, Texas for many years now, her focus has become the revitalization of downtown Dallas's historic West End neighborhood. She was named the Business Journal's 2019 Top Commercial Real Estate Influencer. Not only is Tanya a powerful and influential woman doing great things for her community, but she has made it her goal to help promote women in real estate and construction in her projects. Welcome to the Hazard Girls podcast, Tanya.
Hi, Emily. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm so glad you're able to be here with us today. I am really excited to learn more about your projects, everything you're doing in Dallas, Texas, and all around the country. But you've got a background in several areas: energy, finance, and real estate. What attracted you to commercial real estate and construction? Is that something you always wanted to do?
I would say no. Something I learned early on is when you have a certain skill set, you never know where that is going to take you exactly. And, I started outside of college in corporate America. I actually started out in fashion and retail. And, 20 years later, I'm in construction and real estate. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I can relate. Right now you're working on a $15 million redevelopment of the Purse building in Dallas. Can you tell us about that building and why redeveloping it will help downtown Dallas?
So about 2011, I was extremely involved on the southeastern side of downtown in another neighborhood called the Farmers Market District, also a neighborhood with a tremendous amount of history. And when I was involved on that side of town, I had the opportunity to save the largest commercial building in downtown Dallas that we actually relocated brick by brick from 8 blocks away to the historic farmers market. And it really created an interest for me in historic preservation. I had been very, very involved with the revitalization of that neighborhood, with reviving that history, working with both the city through a public-private partnership to save this building that was in the path of destruction. And it just brought a high level of interest to me on historic preservation. So you flash forward several years, and I learned of an opportunity of another building that had been vacant for decades, a building with some challenges, which a lot of these old buildings have. It was located in the heart of downtown at an entry point to the oldest historic district in downtown Dallas called the West End that, was also ready and prime for a revival. And, I crossed paths with this building and thought, you know what? I'm the fourth owner in 10 years. Nobody's been able to get it done. I'm going to take a stab at it. So around late 2018, we began the rehabilitation efforts to rehabilitate and revive this building that is at the entry point to the Dallas West End.
And how has it been? How has the project been? Is it going smoothly?
Well, timing, right? Timing. Our timing wasn't the best when we completed the project's first phase. It was late 2019, and going into 2020, we were on top of the world. I mean, things couldn't have been going better. And as you know, right? Pandemic hit. So we're in the process now of it's do-over time. So all those things that we prepped and that we pushed and we marketed and we ramped up in early 2020, we're essentially doing over now in 2021. If there's any silver lining through all of that, is we've had the time to really understand our user better. We've had the time to understand the neighborhood better. As a stakeholder group made up of multiple building owners, property owners, developers, business owners, we've been able to reorganize that neighborhood and really come out, I think, more organized and even stronger than we were pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. So there's been a lot of silver linings. It's just taken a little longer than I had anticipated. Mm-hmm. As is construction.
Right. And the price of lumber, as we hear from many of our guests.
Oh, yes. It's like, all those things that you thought that you had fine-tuned, well, we just get to do it all over again.
Mm-hmm. Well, the neighborhood that you're building in is a neighborhood that is undergoing sort of a revitalization. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Can you talk a little bit about, what that means for the project and how you approach responsible development and stewardship?
So something that I'm really proud about with Wildcat Management is we take a very, very active role, not only with our redevelopment projects, but we take a very active role in the communities that we invest in. Mm-hmm. In January of 2021, I became the chairman of the West End Association, which is a business organization made up of property owners, real estate folks, businesses, and the whole goal of that organization is the revitalization and the positive economic development of that district. We have an operating budget of around $350,000 that goes towards public safety. We have an on-site dedicated public safety program. It goes towards marketing, and it goes towards efforts that highlight the neighborhood in a positive way. This project in particular is at the entryway to this neighborhood that is located in our central business district, right in the heart of downtown Dallas. Mm-hmm. A challenge with some of these buildings that you find in these historic districts or buildings that have sat vacant or empty for a long period of time is it can be extremely difficult to make the economics work. Mm-hmm. These old buildings are what bring character to our neighborhoods. They are what bring fabric and interest, character. I like to say original character, right? Natural character, but there's something that is offered to these neighborhoods in our urban core that you can't find in some of the suburbs or some of these new developments. So, a lot of the young people and folks that move to our downtown and who have moved to our downtown in the last decade, what brings them downtown is not only the diversity, but also all of the charm and when you walk down our streets, you see our history. You see some of these old buildings. You see, you see a lot of unique character in our downtown. This particular building, what drew me to it was, one, it had been empty for decades. Two, it is a national landmark and is actually on both the historical registry, but also a local landmark. I felt that where it was located for the entry to the neighborhood was very, very important to see it rehabbed as a point of contact for the for the neighborhood. Mm-hmm.